So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. A give to Williams, running right. Oh, he bowls over him. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. Here we go with Williams. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of 1st downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
They'll go jet sweep here with Sutton. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. Boom. Open space inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Mike Boone taking it in from 24 yards out. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos.
Makes the score Broncos 7, Saints nothing. Brandon McManus to kick off for Denver.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got his target, Harris. And all the way down to the 27. A big-time play there for New Orleans.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And I'll tell you what a bird's-eye view I've got here, because that was absolutely something else to watch. Not a lot of wiggle in that. That was catch it and go, and he used those wheels of his to absolute devastating effect.
Winston now to throw on first down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
To throw on second and 10. Went nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
A loss of 10 yards on the play. It's now third down.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, first down.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
Out is Lutz now for the New Orleans field goal attempt. This from 54 yards away. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there, because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things, because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Out of the end zone comes Spencer. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
After 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Williams going to get it again on second down.
And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there.
46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with a bandit.
On third down, here's Williams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Now Williams running left.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them. That attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Boom. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now a give, right side. Boom. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now a give, right side. Boom. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first.
It's a gain of 8, but it brings up 4th down.
They'll go for it. It's Locke. He'll buy some time right. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Jameis now on 1st down. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
21 yards. That's good for a Saints. 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Winston.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Ronald Darby.
And the Broncos are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
It's 2nd and 8.
They'll try the left side. Boom. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Block now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
Open man is the tight end, Troutman.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
56 to Mike. 56. Exit. 56 to Mike. 56 is to Mike.
1st down, Winston. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
And the Broncos are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. After the turnover, here's Locke. And his throw is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now Locke. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw it is Locke. He's going to look deep for his running back, Gordon. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Clock now on 1st down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
Locke looks to throw it again.
This one swung out to Williams.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
You got
Block gonna throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And, Jameis intercepted a third time.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play.
Both teams going through their final halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football. And to bring you the second half from the Superdome, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3.
And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
Here's Winston. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Here's Winston. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
Jameis to throw it. Harris has it over the middle. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 26. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
The first down throw for Winston. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
To throw, Winston. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
56 is Mike. 56 is Mike.
On 3rd down, Winston drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
Out of the end zone comes Spencer. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lock. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Locke. Flush to it. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us. But I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Winston.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
Sheds off the tackle. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Watch that in. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Everyone's got 4. Easy.
Now Winston.
A throw over the middle taken in by Troutman.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They're running it. 45. They're not ready for this.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Kareem Jackson.
And the Broncos are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Again, it's Williams. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On third down, it's Williams. Williams is going to have the first down and a little more. Shoves him aside.
116 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
First and goal, Denver.
Now to the air, Locke. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Albert Okuebuna there to make the grab. And the Broncos have retaken the lead. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Locke going to try and throw for it.
And it is incomplete, so they can't convert for 2. And now the lead stays at 5.
Saints 8. Brandon McManus to kick off for Denver.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Fielded right around the 8. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Winston.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Kareem Jackson.
And the Broncos are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
They run it again with Williams. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brings up 3rd down.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Block off of play action. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
26 mark, 26 mark.
They'll go for it. It's Locke.
That's complete. Okuebunam.
He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
This game has been a lesson, a clinic in how to throw the football. I mean, even with a big lead, they're not turning off the engine. They're not getting off the gas at all. They plan to keep going at them, and it's working for them.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
And 11 at the 48-yard line.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Locke to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Boom. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. They look to throw. It's Locke. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 34.
And the Saints are right back in this football game.
A seismic shift in momentum here in the 4th quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this 4th quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive.
It's a gain of 18.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
1st and 10 at the 48.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now it's Kamara in the passing game, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now Winston.
Back to Kamara for another catch.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And this is caught. Kenny Stills. Touchdown, New Orleans. Kenny Stills, 31 yards. And the Saints have retaken the lead.
And touchdown and congratulations and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
Winston to throw. And this is caught. And it's a 3-point game. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
To return it, here's Deontay Spencer.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 138 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
The busy night continues for Williams. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now a give, right side. Boom. Room here to run. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
Here's Locke.
Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now Locke. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
On second down now. Boom. Finding room to the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Again, they're going to go with Boone. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Locke, gotta have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one.
Let's go. Let's go.
Winston will kneel down, and that should be your ball game. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the state of Florida and TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their